I refused to let my in-laws take my daughter for Christmas. Now they're suing for custody.
How are you gonna get the law involved with my daughter?
Grandparent laws, dude.
Grandparent law is a lie. It depending on what state you're in.
I, 30 female, am the single mother of Clara, 2 female. My pregnancy wasn't planned. I had no strings attached relationship with her father, Jack, 30 male, for 7 months when I became pregnant unexpectedly. By the way, this comes from Apprehensive Mix 2025. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, he lived in another state, but would visit my city monthly for business reasons, and we hit it off after meeting in a bar. We thought about our options regarding the pregnancy, but I decided to keep the baby. Jack wanted to be a part of her life, so we planned to raise the baby together, but not as a couple, just co-parents. Unfortunately, Jack passed away during my pregnancy.
Oh no. That's
Wow. That's
Well.
crazy. Jack's parents, Linda and James, knew that I was pregnant when he passed. We had already done a paternity test at the time. We were all devastated by his passing, but of course his parents were destroyed by it. Clara is their first and only grandchild, and she's become their beacon of light in a dark time, as they say. Ooh.
There's no way this is gonna end with them trying to take your daughter away from you.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yikes. Why? How? How do we get there? Let's find out.
They have other 2 daughters, Ruth, 37 female, and Lily, 27 female. But they don't have children. Ruth is trying to conceive for a long time with her husband, and Lily is child-free and single. Jack's whole family lives in another state with the exception of Lily that lives abroad. They have family business, so their life is there, while I have my family and career in my current city, where I live with Clara. Since Clara was born, we have an agreement. Nothing legal, but we've all agreed with visitation for her grandparents and aunts. They usually visit Clara twice a month. James and Linda are the ones that visit the most, but Ruth also shows up sometimes. I really appreciate their presence on her life. Since the beginning, a point of contention in our relationship was traveling with Clara to their state. Oh my gosh, guys. Lock in, dude.
Huh? Lock in. Get the lock here. I got the lock right here.
I got it. I got it.
Lock it. Lock in. Turn the key.
Since the beginning, a point of contention in our relationship was traveling with Clara to their state. They have a big property that's in their family for over 100 years and have a family business too. In their small town, they are treated as almost royalty and wanted Clara to experience that. I understand that it's good for my daughter to know her heritage, but I also put my foot down on the idea of their traveling with her without me. I already visit their hometown 3 times with Clara since she was born, but this isn't enough apparently. Our relationship wasn't perfect. I had some issues with Linda meddling way too much on my parenting, but we were civil until I started my current relationship. I've been dating Ted, 34 male, for almost a year, and things are tense with James and Linda. Ted and I don't live together, and he has a daughter, Marie, 4 female, that lives with him. Linda has expressed disapproval to his constant presence in my house, which is not true. Both of us work a lot, and between our kids and other priorities, we are able to see each other 3 to 4 times a week. To Marie having play dates and sleepovers with Clara, and the list goes on. The woman will find a way to comment something even about Ted's car parked in front of my house.
Well, it's because she wants you to never move on from Jack.
Goodness gracious.
And was that was his name, right?
Yep, Jack.
It's Jack, not Jack or yeah.
Jackie Man.
Jack. Yeah, families like this are a nightmare to deal with. The old money. I've been here for 100 years or more.
Dude, come on. Come on.
Did you have a family like that in your town?
I guess my family's like that. We're not like.
You got the Sawmill. You're more like a legacy family.
Well,
you're not like the lords of the land. I'm thinking of like Yellowstone. Like
I'm
like
thinking
the
about
Duttons and stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about the other like sawmill in our county, and they kind of are like that. Like they got sponsorship with the high school football team, and they're kind of like do. They're kind of like.
So you're
that.
like the everyman sawmill, and they're like the elitist.
Yeah,
like
in the family.
Pretty boy sawmill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Low key.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm glad you're not from the pretty boy sawmill, Riley.
Dude, no. Yeah, no. Like one time I went there to get something and they overcharged me and also didn't tell me where to get the right thing.
Oh, bad service,
Yeah.
bad prices, bad service.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Anyways, things escalated when 2 weeks ago I got an email, Linda, James, and Ruth, an invite for Christmas Eve. Ted and I will have a get-together with our families and close friends. I decided to invite Clara's grandparents so they can extend Christmas Eve with her, but I also let them know that if they prefer, they can take her for lunch on Christmas Day. The next day, Linda texted me that they already had plans to take Clara to their home on Christmas. I said this was not happening. I didn't hear anything from her for about 2 days. Linda called me stating that she gave me 2 days to cool off and to be reasonable.
Bro,
Best thing to tell someone, calm down, cool off.
this her daughter. Be reasonable about her. You just made an executive decision about what her daughter's going to do for a holiday without consulting her mom.
But like, that's her grandchild.
Yeah, you're not the mom. It's a consultation at the very least.
I asked what she meant, and she said they have rights over Clara and that they had waited too much to take her home for Christmas. Now she is bigger and can travel without me. I said that was never discussed, and I will not let them travel with my daughter without discussing with me before. Linda said this was the discussion before the travel. I laughed on the call and said that she was delusional.
Ooh, was she trying to say that they discussed it years ago when the kid was born?
Yeah, they probably are making stuff up. You have 0 receipts, Shelbo. They have 0 rights. This is crazy.
I mean,
Why?
look, it's like clearly like the father of this child like passed unexpectedly.
This is
maybe,
their
like,
only
kinda tragically.
grandkid.
This is their grandkid.
Only grandkid they probably will have for a while.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Theoretically, they could have a very positive, like, healthy relationship, even though Jack has passed. But, like, trying to just be like, nope, we have the rights as grandparents, and we're taking her for Christmas.
Goodness gracious.
That's not how you communicate as a person, but
Yeah.
that tracks for that, oh, our family's been here for 100 years, and this is, we have this, we have money, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's just how these people move. They're like, well, what do you mean? This is what I want, so this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Dude, low-key, I'm grateful for my cousin having kids because the stress of me having kids was lifted off my shoulders once my grandparents had a great-grandbaby, baby. And now I might need to go back to North Carolina in April because she's having a second kid.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Well, congratulations
Thank you.
for them.
I know, right?
And another little Wilson running around.
Baumgartner.
Yeah, whatever.
Or, I guess, Schrantz. You could say their last name. Yeah. Yeah, a little heathen running around. Sawmill heathen.
It'll always be a Wilson to me.
Yeah, well, so to explain it, sorry. It's Wilson, which was my dad's side, but, like, I don't really know a lot of my dad's family. But, like, it's Baumgartner, so it's like the Baumgartner family. I'm more of a Baumgartner than a Wilson. I just am a Wilson.
Will Gardner.
Will Gardner. Facts. You know what Baumgartner means in German? Tree farmer.
Ah.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, right? Ain't that cool?
That was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, no. Anyways, Linda said this was the discussion before the travel. I laughed at the call and said she was delusional. Things escalated quickly after that. I was accused of trying to replace Jack on Clara's life. And I also said some things that were a little cruel about Jack never meeting Clara.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Well, don't do that, dude. Well, you're taking shots at your no longer living
baby daddy.
Previous fiance, husband, boyfriend, baby daddy.
No strings attached, baby daddy.
There was no boyfriend. There was no nothing. Really?
Yep.
Okay.
They hooked up, no strings attached. She let him know, and then he passed away before she gave birth to Clara. Where were you?
I was still warming up at the beginning of the story.
Like they said in Severance, where did you go?
I don't even know. I don't know.
Just wait. You're gonna hear it, and you're gonna hear my voice.
I can't wait. Oh, dude.
You're gonna hear that happen. You're gonna be like, "Oh, Riley."
I'm like at the point where I don't want to say anything for. I don't
Anyway, sorry. Severance comes out tomorrow night.
Welcome to the Severance podcast.
After Linda hung up on me, James called and tried to reason with me. They let it slip that they bought Clara's plane tickets 2 months ago without asking me first.
Dude, just a dummy move.
I said there's no way I would let them walk all over me. James lost his temper and demanded that I should apologize for Linda or we will go to court over this. I didn't back down and said they were choosing to fight over this, not me. Well, after some time of silence from them, I was served with court papers. They are suing me over custody of Clara and are stating that I am unfit as a mother. I already have a lawyer who I consult before our fight over the phone. She told me yesterday that they have almost 0 chance of getting any custody. Okay, after hearing that sentence, we're not even like a fourth of the way done. So, like, I feel like they do have a chance.
A battle will ensue. That's the thing. She says almost 0 because if these people just decided to throw millions of dollars at this, they could probably somehow, bankrupt OP from legal fees and then go, see, she's got no money. She can't be a parent.
Yeah. Yikes. And now I'm thinking about inheritance. Like, Clara's probably set up. If the 2 other daughters can't have kids, bro.
Who knows? These sound like spiteful demon grandparents, not gonna lie. They're just,
I need to make my will. The most they can give is visitation. But still, I worry about this becoming a legal battle. People in my life are divided. Part of them think I did wrong by putting up boundaries, and others think it's petty of me to start a fight with my daughter's grandparents when I could let them travel with her for Christmas when I know they are good grandparents and will take care of her. So am I the a-hole? Do we need clarifications, or do we want to say if she's the a-hole or not?
I would say she's not. I mean, I think that...
Only the a-hole talking about Jack.
Yeah, taking shots at their son, that's bad. But also they kind of put you there.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like they've just did this without consulting you, literally her mom. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
That's wild, dude.
That's at least a conversation.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, hey, we'd love to have Claire here for Christmas. Like, let's figure out something that works for her and for you, and we can, you know.
See, that would be too easy. Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Well,
it hasn't happened. I don't think it's going to happen for the rest of the story.
They're fermented by smoked oak caskets and old money, and they've been pickled.
They're stuck to the old ways.
They're just sour pickle people.
I love pickles.
Yeah, Keon would eat them alive.
I would.
We're going to get back to the story, but Sam, you have a copious amount of something.
What, John?
X's.
I have like 4 or 5 or 6.
I heard of 6 with a 0
All
behind
right,
it.
that 60 number, comes from somewhere else.
Where does that come from?
It comes from our OK Storytime membership.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Join a club almost as exclusive as Sam's X is. Well, let's get back to the story.
Some clarifications are needed. How Linda and James know about the details about my life. How they know about Ted's car and Marie's playdates. They do live in another state, but they also visit very often. At least twice a month, they come to see Clara, and they come to my house to pick her up and to leave her after their outings. This is how Linda realized Ted's car in the front of my driveway, since I live in a gated community and it's forbidden for this type of parking unless it's a homeowner's car. The first time she saw this car, Linda asked if I would call the security to tow the car. I said no because it was Ted's car. They also used to FaceTime Clara 3 times a week. That's how they learned about some of their playdates and sleepovers with Marie. They called when Marie was still at the house with Clara and saw her. They expected my toddler to travel alone on a plane? No. I think I couldn't explain well enough. James said they would travel to my city, take Clara with them on the plane to their state, and after a week, they would bring her back. She was never supposed to travel alone for what they were planning. Do I believe they are going to kidnap my daughter? I don't know. I think it's possible. Some comments made me paranoid, to be honest. James said they bought her tickets back, but I don't think I should trust him without proof. Their words mean nothing now. Dude, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, that's probably not. They're probably not planning that. They're probably not planning that.
The percentage of a cow killing you is low, but it's not 0.
It's like a fact.
It's not 0, but like I'm pretty sure Claire would be like at some point, just like, I want to go home and see my mom.
Well, she's 4 right now,
right?
little.
But by the time you get to 4, dude, it's like you become very attached.
You
to your
do know.
parents.
I don't know. You can play the grandparent game.
You do know it's statistically higher for a cow to get you more than a shark.
Yep.
Stop this.
No, seriously.
Well, yeah, of course it is, because I'm not swimming in the ocean where the sharks are.
No.
I'm standing on land where the cows are.
Also,
why are we talking about this? The point is...
Paranoid? No.
I don't think these grandparents are going to steal the child, because the child is old enough to be like, I miss my mom, give me my mom. And once the kid does that, what are you going to do? Be like,
oh my God.
I'm not afraid of snakes. Did you know that? Snakes are actually... Most things, unless they can like make noise, they don't scare me. It's like the bugs that go bzz, they scare me.
Noted.
The bugs that don't, like I came across a tarantula in Albuquerque on a hike, and all the people I was hiking with like freaked out, and I was just like I was just like this. Hello, Mr. Tarantula. What are you doing?
No thanks. I am good. All right.
I'm gonna wear this.
Do I still have contact with them? No. My lawyer advised me to cut all visits, video calls with Clara, and communicate only with my daughter's grandparents through our lawyers. They are not blocked on my phone, but I will not receive any call from them. If they text me or email me, I'll have it sent to my lawyer. Trust me, today was all about making a FU binder and documenting every little thing. Thank you for the advice, guys, and don't worry much. Clara and I live in a very secure community with cameras and armed security. No one will take her from me. We got some relevant comments here. Number 1, they bought plane tickets 2 months ago without asking you. That's not planning ahead. That's delusional travel agency energy. You are Clara's mom and not some vacation rental that they can book an Airbnb with. OP, exactly. That's what pissed me off the most. Who does that with someone else's child? They act like Clara is their child, not mine. Yeah, true. Commenter 2, if I were you, I would get the most aggressive, underhanded lawyer I could find to drag their names through the mud. You cannot trust your child with them. They do not respect you. They are selfish and unreasonable bullies. Fight fire with fire, not the a-hole. OP says, my lawyer is a very fierce lady with almost 20 years of experience in family law. My sister is a lawyer and was her student in college. She immediately said I should phone her former teacher, and I did. Dang, she got the best.
She took the advice.
Even when your sister says, hey, call this person up, you know what's up.
You got it. Yeah, the inter-family recommendation.
Goodness gracious.
Inter-sibling recs.
Commenter 3, not the a-hole. This is your child. They have no right to demand anything, and you were kind enough to include them in your life at all. Do you have a security system at your house? I would be worried about them showing up. OP says, I have a very good security system in my home. My dad made sure to supervise the installation when I moved to my house while pregnant. There's no way they will show up without being recorded. Commenter 4, not the a-hole. You have been more than kind in fostering a relationship with them. I am positive they will not get custody, but I am curious about grandparent rights. This is a thing in your country/state. If it is, I would fight to make sure all the visits are near you. It would look bad for them to take her and try and keep her away from you, but they already have proven to be shady and underhanded. OP says, according to my lawyer, since Jack has passed away, they have grandparent rights here in my country, but only visitation and only on the same city the child lives. She thinks there's no way they'll have custody, so this could make them have less access to her than before. OP clarifies details regarding the inheritance Clara has in her country after Jack's passing. Here, her inheritance is already secure and received. She inherited 50% of her father's assets and will receive his share when her grandparents pass away. It's the law.
Dang, that's a lot of assets.
Bro!
That's a lot of asset.
Dude!
That's a whole lot of asset. Dang.
Here, if you pass away without being married or having a common law partner, you have to live at least 6 months with someone to be considered a legal partner. 50% go to any children you have, and 50% go to your parents. In case your parents aren't alive, 100% will go to your children. The other way around, if you're childless, 100% will go to your parents if they are alive. There's no need for an executor here.
Executor. It's all right. It's literally the exact same as executor, but it's in this context pronounced executor.
There's no need for an executor for her to receive the inheritance, but I did put her assets on an investment trust to avoid issues in the future or accusations that I used all of her money. Dude, OP gets it, dude.
Do you see these? These?
Oh my gosh.
These are all the ducks in the row. That's where OP is putting them.
Holy cow.
All of your ducks
We're almost halfway there.
are rowed up. They row your boat.
We got an update, guys. 2 months later. Thoughts? Do you think they're going to kidnap her?
No,
I
don't think they're. And look, there were comments where it's like statistically, like it is, an abduction or a kidnapping is more likely to happen from somebody that you know or like a family member. But my thing is that I feel like the vibe is more like, I don't think they're just going to try to swindle the child away.
Yeah.
I think they're probably emotionally reacting to this because it's like
They're only
the last connection they have also to their son.
True.
So there's a lot going into it with that. I think these are probably just people who are all hurting in a certain way that are like just not going about communicating effectively whatsoever. And also these people are clearly like super loaded and are just used to just getting whatever they want anyway. And so then this person being like, that's my daughter. Like, no, I'm not just going to have her go to Christmas if you don't talk to me about it at all. You could have talked to her about it months ago when you bought the tickets, and then it probably would have worked out. But because you were just being entitled and weird about it, it didn't. And now you want us to be, I'm going to sue you for your child. That's also not going to work out in the long run.
Keon, what do you think?
This is such a sticky situation that I want to see how it plays out, but I feel like OP is gonna get them away. But I'm surprised like they're not gone by now. Like this was all coming. Like you can see the steps and everything that's going on. I just don't understand. Like why are they trying to do this? So like why are they pushing so much?
Yeah.
For the do they not see that this is making the child not because it's what the child's for, right?
Child is not aware of any of this.
Child's not aware of it, but
Goo Goo Gaga.
It's gonna happen eventually. It's gonna happen sooner or later. They're not thinking down the line.
They're really not. They're thinking now. What I want now. This is what I want now.
And that's not the best mindset for all
Especially
situations.
when you're trying to establish a relationship like this long term. Yeah.
Yeah, they're literally blowing it immediately.
Yeah. More than 2 months have passed, and a lot has happened since. My life was really chaotic for some weeks, and I felt bad that I couldn't celebrate Christmas the way I truly wanted to because I was constantly worried about the custody lawsuit. I am relieved to say now this is all over.
Yes. And she won, clearly.
Let's go.
Hopefully she countersued. Also, to the ones worried about Clara, I thank you guys for being so gentle. To be honest, I think more people were nice and gentle than bullies, so I'm thankful for your well wishes from the bottom of my heart. Clara is healthy and happy. Luckily, nobody tried anything to take her from me. I know a lot of you said they could try and kidnap her. I'm still worried about it, but nothing has happened. After I made my post, I spent several days working with my lawyer, my family, and even with the home security company I hired to ensure that Clara was safe, all my security cameras were working, and that I had all the documentation needed for court. My lawyer and I prepared tons of documentations about me, Clara, and even got the backlogs of visitation in my gated community that proves that Ted has never spent the night here. My family were very aware about my fears of kidnapping, and they made sure to always be around us. I have to thank you guys for the incredible advices I got. I don't want to put too much weight on talking about haters because 90% of the comments and messages were truly nice and caring. I tried my best to listen to my lawyer, and many things you guys said we could do to ensure our safety. Not only that, but I talked to Clara's pediatrician, pediatric dentist, swimming teacher, and even my parents' church where Clara sometimes goes to kids' classes. They are all aware of the lawsuit and that nobody should give up information about Clara or me under no circumstances. That is so smart. I've never even thought about that.
What, like
if you're going
getting ahead of it?
Getting ahead of it.
Oh yeah, you got to do that.
And then also being like, yo, hey, if someone random asks about Clara, please do not share any information.
Well, yeah, it's crazy to think about that we grew up in a time where like that wasn't really a thing. Like anybody could have just like walked into my elementary school and been like, hey, I'm Dakota's uncle. And they'd be like, okay. Like,
yeah.
And then fast forward to by the time I graduated high school, it's like they basically had all of the schools locked down like reverse prisons.
Yeah.
It's like you're not getting in unless you know exactly, unless we know everything about you, you're not getting in here. So, but yeah, that's always, if you know that there's a freaky individual out there like going after your kid or something, or that they might, like definitely tell the place where they're going to be most of the week. Like, hey, this person might roll up.
Dude, Showbell, such an unfit parent, making sure that her daughter has fully well-rounded upbringing, surrounded by family and friends, also with a lot of security.
Get her out of there.
So unfit, dude.
Unfit, dude.
This is crazy.
Unfit.
Come on. Gosh. They are all on the same page and are giving us support and being understanding. Some people also advised me to speak to Clara's aunts to know if they're aware of the lawsuit and the possibility that their parents could try and take my daughter. I was not sure how to do this. My lawyer said that I could try to communicate with them, but all via text or email, so you can have like the receipts. Before I could do this, Lily, Jack's younger sister that lives in Europe, texted me to ask if I received Clara's Christmas gifts she sent through mail. I saw this up as an opportunity and wrote a text explaining what was happening with her parents. Lily said she had no idea about the lawsuit or that they wanted to take Clara for Christmas and fly with her on a plane. She said that she would speak with Ruth and ask her about this, since Ruth at the time was very distant from her family group chat. A day later, created a group chat to talk to me. We got some middleman going on here. I think what happened, Ruth went to Lily, yada yada. Oh, this actually didn't happen, and now Ruth is on Lily's side. That's a hot take. I'll see.
We'll see.
They asked to have a video call with me. I said I had to talk with my lawyer first. My lawyer agreed to me doing the call if they let me record it or make sure nothing would be used against me. Both agreed, and we had a video call that was enlightening to me. Ruth apologized to me for being distant from our lives over the past months. She was dealing with many personal issues, but had happy news to share. Ruth went through her third IVF round, and as of now, she is around 22 weeks pregnant with their first child. Oh, wow. She kept everything quiet. Wait. So Ruth is the other sister.
Yes, Ruth is the older
Lily
sister,
and
right?
Ruth are, okay. What's the mom's name again?
Wait, is Lily the one who's 37 or is Ruth the one who's 37? Lily's the older one?
Ruth is the older one. Lily's the younger one. Just Ruth and her husband Sam knew about the IVF proceedings and the pregnancy. She said this was because Linda used to put too much pressure and stress over times they tried IVF. Ruth was distancing herself from things that raised her anxiety levels, and her mom was a main source of anxiety. Her pregnancy is good news, but didn't surprise me, since I knew she was trying for a baby. I'm happy she was finally able to conceive. Here I have to explain that Linda is what people call boy mom. She never got along with her daughters. I had an inkling about that, but since I was not close to them, I had no idea how bad her relationship with her daughters were. They just seemed distant, and James was closer to her daughters. Yeah, we read a story about a boy mom yesterday.
I thought we promised not to bring
I thought
it
we
up
didn't
again.
talk about that anymore.
We mentioned it earlier for Sophia. Let her know to keep an eye on that.
Oh, and then she was like, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Which is probably true.
Yeah, true.
If it was anyone, it was probably
And then
me.
she tried to accuse us that we said we're on the 5th story, but we're actually in the 4th. And then someone went back and was like, nah, you were wrong.
She's got all kinds of wild accusations she
Dude,
throws around all the
Tell
time.
me about it, man.
When she's off camera,
Bro.
she's no, I'm just kidding. No,
Nah,
she's
she's
wonderful.
great.
She's wonderful.
She's great. She's probably rock
She's
climbing right now.
wonderful. You're just
We
goofing.
love her.
You're just goofing.
We say good things behind her back, bad things in front of her. Ruth swore that she didn't know about the lawsuit until Lily called her the day before. That after this, she talked to her dad and to his best friend, who is a lawyer, to understand what's going on. She was surprised that James' friend didn't know anything about the lawsuit, since he is usually the lawyer representing them. James, on the other hand, tried to divert the subject when Ruth asked, but she pressured him, and eventually he folded and told her everything. James claims that he didn't want to sue me, but Linda's mental health has deteriorated to the point that he feared for her well-being. Does that mean you should go out and hire a lawyer then?
A lawyer or a sawyer? Yeah, I don't know. Get a lawyer.
What we can do with a sawyer?
Put him to work.
You know what sawyers do, right?
They're sawyers. Yeah.
They have big saw.
They work the saw. Well, yeah, definitely don't. You don't need a sawyer.
Yeah, no. But dude, that's wild. The only thing that could make her get out of the bed is Clara and the thought of having her around. He ignored that this makes Linda the one who's not fit to raise a child, not me. His plan was to pressure me with a lawsuit in order to make me to accept a better deal of visitation for them. They wanted more days with her and to be able to travel with her to their home multiple times a year. James never said that they wanted to keep her forever, but I'm not trusting on his words. My trust is shattered. Ruth and Sam tore James a new one for suing me over custody to manipulate me and for not forcing Linda to go to therapy. He claimed Linda doesn't accept the idea of going to see a therapist, as she is not crazy, and said that she would not go under no circumstance. Ruth had to threaten James that if he didn't withdraw the lawsuit and get the help Linda and him needed, she would go no contact and resign from the family business. Whoa.
Uh-oh. Now you're messing with the family logistics. Ooh.
She was very worried about the idea of doing the same to Sam in case she passes away and their child is left with their husband. James kind of broke after this and caved to Ruth's demands. After my call with Ruth and Lily, I was under the knowledge that the lawsuit would be terminated.
Okay.
All right.
Very good. Very good.
Unfortunately, in my country, from the 20th of December until the 20th of January, the courts are on break and they deal with emergency cases. Mine wasn't. Their lawyer reached out to mine to talk about the end of the lawsuit and about writing a visitation agreement that the family court would approve. We agreed to work on this, but I would only sign any visitation agreement after they had withdrawn their lawsuit for custody and if only they agreed to follow my rules. Fair. I don't see anything wrong here.
Sounds fair to me.
Yeah, this is what a very fit parent would do.
Sounds like you have more than ample proof that you are, in fact, a good parent.
Yeah, dude. And dude, crazy that they try to get Clara while like Linda is not in a good headspace whatsoever.
Now, it's like, and it just, again, it totally tracks with this whole, with what it seems to be the vibe of their family history and their background, where it's just like, we get what we want. We don't care why or how, or if it's even good for the kid. All that matters is what we want.
Exactly. For what I know, after being pressured by her whole family, Linda eventually accepted to start therapy, and she's seeing a psychiatrist and a therapist. She was diagnosed with depression and PTSD related to Jack's death.
That's fair. Yeah, again, which is what I would say. It's like there's a lot of complicated emotions going into this.
Exactly. I know this because my lawyer demanded that her doctors had to put an evaluation of Linda's mental state in order to our legal agreement for me to accept a visitation deal with Clara's grandparents. I never said here, but Jack's death was sudden and violent. He was a victim of a robbery gone wrong.
No.
Dude, I thought it was a car crash.
God. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it was tragic. I didn't think it was a crime.
Dude.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Dude.
That's wild. All of us were shocked about his passing, but Linda and James took the brunt of it. I always felt they didn't mourn enough since they switched their attention to my pregnancy a few weeks after his passing, and I was right to think that. In our visitation agreement, I also demanded that both James and Linda have to go through grief counseling, to which they agreed a number of sessions. Me, James, and Linda are attending virtual family therapy for the first few months of our agreement to make sure we're all in a healthy space to deal with our relationship and put Clara's well-being first. Regarding to this, I have nothing to complain about. They accepted my terms pretty easily. They did try to fight against the idea of supervised visitation, but I had no reason to accept otherwise. Now they will visit Clara twice a month on a family center in my city. This is something my country has, is a public building where things related to custody of minors and family problems regarding custody are handled. They have very good security there. Visits will be supervised by a social worker who was assigned to our case by the judge that signed our visitation agreement. About my fears of kidnapping, I'd say I didn't feel validated by my country's laws. Basically, me and my lawyer went to a police station and we did an occurrence about the possibility of a kidnap. They didn't seem to take this seriously. As of now, they will not press charges. Why would they press charges?
Well, I mean, yeah, no one's been kidnapped.
They probably, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
well, they're not like, did they give you advice or were they just like, stop bothering us?
Well, whatever advice if they gave you the advice to do whatever you've just done, then that was great advice, because I feel like where we're at now is perfect.
Yeah.
Your lawyer is doing exactly
the
right thing. And it's like
lawyers.
These people need therapy and guidance and supervision if they're going to continue to interact with this child, which it's probably for the best that they do. It's like, you know, I've have a lot of good memories with my grandparents. Grandparents are an important part of a kid's upbringing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. But dude, I don't think you need to go to the police station. You're in a gated community. You got cameras up. You got family that's close.
At this point, it seems like we're back on the rails. Everything's on track. We're understanding each other a little bit better. And I think with some time and doing the therapy, it's like, it could be a healthy dynamic and a healthy relationship for all parties involved.
If you really want to know where they're at, put GPSs in their cars.
I don't think that's legal.
That's true. If you want to know where someone's at, you track them. You LoJack them.
Just do the trusty thing and be like, find my friends.
At least there's paperwork. What? Find my friends?
Share your location with everyone. I expect to have your location immediately.
Speaking of, you don't share it with me.
Yeah, you share it with me.
Uh-oh.
I'll do it. Fine. I'll do it.
At least there's paperwork regarding my fears. James ended up sending my lawyer Clara's plane tickets to prove they bought her 2 tickets and were not planning on staying with her. Since they have money, I don't think it would be hard for them to buy a ticket back knowing they will not use it. So I'm still not trusting or believing them. I don't have plans of letting them visit Clara without supervision. Even their aunts know that to see Clara, they have to be supervised too. Everyone is accepting of this right now, and the visits have started over a couple of weeks ago. Let's see what happens in the future. I also don't intend on traveling to their state or city in the near future. I'm truly scared about the chances of them using their power to take my daughter, so I will not make it easier for them. And you can make it easier for yourself if you go to your favorite podcast platform, search up OK Storytime on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, and boom, there will be a plethora of stories just like this one. And yeah, go there.
They might even be juicier than this one, although this one does have a lot of juice.
It's like her doubling down.
A lot of mellow juice.
This is the play-by-play, what you need to do to make sure your child is safe.
Truly, yeah, this is a great blueprint. Like, I expected this to be a lot worse. I expected this to be like the lording in-laws would be, well, in-laws, I don't know. What would you call them? They never got married. But yeah, I thought they were going to leverage that money and just like try to steal that baby.
Parents.
But they didn't, and they're just hurting. And with some therapy and some, some social services, I think this will all work out in the end. I think everyone can be happy.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Last little bit. Thank you again for all the well wishes. As of now, Clara and her mama bear are doing well and enjoying a couple of days I take to spend the quality time together and finally celebrate, since our Christmas was very stressful. Oh my gosh. I'm done with this story. I think she's just like talking about.
What do you mean?
She's just talking about her lawyer's recommendations. I think we should read another story.
What? No,
she's just doubling down.
I need more.
We already got it.
No.
What else do you need? Well, she's just
more?
talking about how she's doubling down with her lawyer and all the steps that she's taking. But like, there's nothing else to really talk about here. Let's read another story.
Okay.
But guys, that's it. That is that story. We have another one coming up right now.
My sister-in-law got offended over my social media posts, and I want to go no contact.
Girl, just forget about it and keep posting.
Forget about it. Buckle up, because this one's long. Context. Me, 39 female, 40 in less than 2 months, woot woot, and my husband, 38 male, have been together for more than half of our lives. Really making me do math there, OP. We are high school sweethearts as we started dating in December 2002. He has 2 older sisters, Alice and Rebecca. Alice is a teacher and Rebecca is a veterinarian. This will be important later. By the way, this comes from user SuddenRun2111. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, my relationship with my husband's sisters hasn't always been perfect, but the oldest and I usually get along. However, myself and Rebecca, I would say we're pretty close. We always made a point to hang out together when life got busy. We would go to the movies together now and then, or go on spa dates so we could talk and catch up on life. I visited her down in the States when she was going to school, and she shared a lot with me, and my husband for that matter. She always said that he would be her first call if she was ever in need of someone's help. This type of relationship continued on even after she had her first child. We were so close that before her first child was born, she made my husband and I the godparents. She was our first call when we lost our first son at 28 weeks pregnant.
Dang. That's tough. That's a tough one.
Well, that's a special bond to have somebody be that first call, man.
Yep. Real quick, I don't like how this is set up because you were establishing how close you are to this friend, and I feel like something really bad is about to happen here.
Well, they're probably going to turn on. They're going to flip. They're going to do a 180 flip.
Yeah, Tony Hawk, do it.
Do it.
All right, let's do this. Let's do the rest of the story. In September of 2023, we had the opportunity to go out to Alberta with my husband, our son, who was 4 months old at the time, his parents, my husband, Rebecca, and her 2 children. Her husband was gifted an extravagant hunting trip from Rebecca the Christmas before, so she thought it would be great if we could all go and meet with him once his trip was over. Their mom has a brother living out there, and his wedding gift to the nieces has always been a trip out west. Since my husband and I got married in June of 2020, he graciously paid for our flight so we could join in on the fun.
Wait, when did OP get married, or was that their friend that got
June
married?
2020.
That's when they got married?
Yes.
They've
OP
been together
and their
since...
husband. It took them 18 years.
That's crazy. Sorry.
They were in high school.
But they've been together for like 20 years. They got together
Honestly,
in 2002.
dude, if you're still together with your high school, if you're going to do a high school sweetheart relationship, I am waiting that long to get married because I got to make sure that's real legitski.
Well, then basically you've been married the whole time. Like if you're together for 20 years and didn't get married.
Maybe they got married and maybe they had a secret wedding.
Shut up. No, they didn't. They did not have a secret wedding.
Riley hates secret weddings.
Oh my
Secret
gosh.
wedding.
Oh, okay. Anyway, the trip was spectacular. The mountains, breathtakingly beautiful as always. Rebecca and I were even able to have one of our spa dates while we were there. Here's what I think our relationship turned for the worst.
Hey, Dakota.
What?
Remove the snake.
What?
Remove the snake.
Yeah, I think some people don't like the snake.
No, this is all Riley's fault.
I did
Also,
find a snake.
why don't you like snakes? If you don't like snakes, I got beef with you, dude. Why don't we like snakes, huh?
So Dakota doesn't like people who don't like snakes.
Yep.
Okay,
I
add it
got
to the
beef
list.
with those who are against snakes for no reason.
I bet you like snakes that eat dogs.
Actually, that's not true. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
What's the rest of the story?
During our pedicures, Rebecca was going on and on about how their parents always overlooked her when she was growing up and that she never got anything she wanted. With a confused look on my face, I said, but what about all of the dance and horseback lessons and the horses and the schooling? She kind of looked at me and went quiet. She didn't talk to me much after that during the trip, but I didn't think much of it as I was having a blast with my little family. Dude, all it took was pressing her one time on her BS for her to completely turn on you. That's crazy.
She just had that loaded in, and you ask one question, one pushback, and then she
and she's venting. She's like, I never got anything I wanted. It's like, you literally had horseback lessons and you had horses. A lot of kids want that, explicitly want that, and never get that. And you got that. I'm never talking to you again. LOL. Okay, anyway.
I know she's about to bring up some effed up crap here in a minute.
She's about to do something crazy. We had rented our own car as well so we could explore on our own. When we arrived home, their mom unfortunately came down with pneumonia in October. Her doctor didn't catch this until the second time she got really sick and finally took the blood work and got a chest x-ray. In our family group chat, their mom, Jane, wondered why the doctor would be calling her at home, making sure that she was okay and was able to get the medication she needed for the pneumonia. So, being the silly person I am, I wrote, she done effed up. This triggered Rebecca. She exploded with insults towards me, saying that I was uneducated and that when a horse presents these symptoms, they don't always go for a chest x-ray because it could be something else. She's bringing up horses?
We're
talking about people.
She's like, so one time my horse jumped over an obstacle and it went great. Maybe you should try that.
We've lost him, folks.
Dang it. I thought that was relatable.
We've lost him.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay, dude. This was literally me when you tapped me out this morning.
Yeah.
If you hadn't tapped me out and I read one of those 5Ks,
you'd be dead.
I'd be reading it like how you're on the couch right now.
Dude, it's been a week. It's only Wednesday.
I'm a doctor, so this is what's usually done.
I am a doctor.
Yeah, horse doctor. I also.
I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
I am a doctor of horses. I am a doctor. Doctor horse.
You're Dr. Horse.
Dr. Horse.
Okay. Shut up. Okay, we're gonna go. Okay. I also need to mention that I am a stay-at-home mom with my son, who's now 21 months old. Shut up. Say a year and a half. And now our daughter, 4 months. I always like to post my opinion on social media, especially when it pertains to being a stay-at-home mom, homeschooling, and homesteading, because this is what I am striving to be for myself and for my family, a homemaker, if you will.
Dude, I love posting my opinion on social media. It's literally my favorite thing to do.
Yeah? And then do you just watch as the world burns?
Yeah, that's why everyone loves
post
me.
your opinion. You go click,
click,
and then it's just
every time Sophia puts one of her little posts on Instagram, I make sure to say something.
What? One of her little posts?
She'll make a post, and I'm like, ha ha ha, and it'll say something.
You're just her annoying older brother.
Yeah.
That's all you are. Just Sophia's annoying brother.
I know she hates me sometimes when I say stuff, and she just doesn't reply.
Oh, I do it to her too, though. I've been doing it to her recently about her.
Dude, your thing with the weasel in the blender?
The B word. So I'll go, Sophia, what do you see in your head right now when you think of that word? What do you see? And she just goes, shut up. Shut up. I'm like, what do you see?
Dude, I love Sophia. She's so funny. She's so hilarious.
We love you, Sophia.
Are you watching this right now, Sophia?
We're going to see it. We're going to say it here instead of in front of you. And what do you see right now when you see the B word in your head? What do you see, Sophia?
A bee.
What do you see?
A bee buzzing.
Josephine Medilla Berquist, Miller Payne Tanner Hirschman says, I am a water horse century egg full body orgasm doctor.
Dude, get back on track. We're almost done with the story.
Okay.
Goodness gracious. You could get off track a little bit, but you just I don't even understand it.
Sorry, I was reading a comment from our wonderful community.
I feel like a terrible person now. I hate adulting. Having fun and being an adult. It's the worst.
We know what to do. Dr. Waterhorse in the chat. All right.
Everybody do this.
I always post these reels that come across my feed that pertained to being this way. Homesteading, home fronting, homeschooling, home landing. Rebecca took these reels, especially the ones that pertain to being a stay-at-home mom, as a slight towards her. She thought that I believed that because she's a working mom, I thought less of her and all of the other working moms in the world, which is so far from the truth. I know we all have to do what we have to do. She started texting us one night saying that we were hurting their parents with all of the posts that I was posting. A direct quote. Yes, I kept the texts. Quote, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you that what you choose is the wrong thing. I don't care what you do. I'm sure not going to post 10 different things on social media to make you feel crappy for choosing whatever lifestyle you decided works for you. All I care about is that our son's name gets everything he needs and wants in life, even if it means you need to sacrifice your wants and needs.
Girl, you're taking this out of the wrong context. She's just probably spreading awareness or spreading what she likes.
She's the kind of person who sees like a post about elephants and then goes, oh yeah? So you hate whales.
Yeah, or like if I'm like posting about like the NBA MVP and Dakota's like, well, I'm sorry I'm not an NBA basketball player.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry I never made it pro. Thanks for rubbing that in my face again. Thanks.
Like, girl, like, you know you can like put your phone in the water and you don't have to look at it anymore, right?
Who's your MVP
You know you
right
can
now?
turn it off.
Who's your MVP right now?
Dude, it's Jokic. Duh.
Okay. He's the most dominant person we've maybe ever seen.
It's his job. He's the only one treating it like a job, and he's doing well.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry,
When
little.
he clocks in, he's locked in. I text back saying that anything we post or share is not directed at anyone in particular, and that the things shared are things that we believe in or think are humorous. I explained that our son will have everything he needs in life because we will make it so. I also said that it sounded like me choosing to be a stay-at-home mom is a bad choice in their eyes, and that it makes me a bad mom. I gave her the option to unfollow me if the things that I'm posting are not to their liking, and that there would be no hard feelings if she did so. She then said that no one believes what I'm saying, and then both my husband and I were unfriended by Rebecca and Alice on social media, and then we were both exiled out of the family chat because we were being disrespectful. It was mid-December when Rebecca reached out to us again to ask if we were going to Christmas at Alice and her family's home. My husband and I discussed it and didn't want to go somewhere where we were not wanted. This is when the shiitake hit the fan. She called us ridiculous. Hey, you like that one? How many? What do you rate that?
8.5.
Cool.
Out of 20.
She called us ridiculous and said that we were ruining Christmas for their mom and dad and their oldest child. She even told us that our godparentship was taken away from us and given to Alice and her husband. Cool. All right. Nice. She said that having a homeschooled education makes you dumb. All right. Oh, cool.
Oh, I guess I'm dumb.
Okay, cool. Guess we're all dumb.
Yeah.
By the way, you know what's not dumb?
What's that?
Listening to full episodes with stories like this. And all you got to do is go to iHeartRadio or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen, and search OK Storytime. And then you'll find, all the stories to your heart's desire. 1,200 hours and counting. So go take a listen. Honestly, do you think it's ruining Christmas to not go to the house that no one likes you at, where they unfollow you? Are they ruining Christmas? Yes or no?
Low-key, I mean, I have to go to my family's Christmas if they like me or not.
So you'd say they're ruining Christmas?
Low-key, yeah.
They're ruining Christmas?
Probably.
Dang.
It does throw it off. Like one time my aunt had a very heated discussion with my mom and didn't show up for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving felt weird. And like me and that aunt we're like good, but like not having everyone there was weird. And the past 2 Christmases have been weird because some people miss for being sick and stuff. I mean, like it's going to throw the vibe off.
For people who get sick.
Yeah. I mean, I'll get sick when I'm at home.
You want to get everyone else sick at Christmas?
I haven't been sick since the 8th grade, dude.
Don't say that too loud. The germs
well,
will hear you.
Actually, I got the vid in 20-something. So I get sick then. But
that counts.
Other than that, yeah, it does throw it off. I mean, do you have the right to stay home and not go to Christmas? Yeah, that's totally you. But it will be weird. Not gonna lie.
Are they ruining Christmas, or did Alice ruin Christmas by being an uppity b-boy?
Beep. I don't know.
Yeah. Who ruined it? Who really ruined it?
A beep.
Where does the ruin begin? Anyway, let's finish the story. I need ruins. She also texted that if they had passed away tomorrow, that her children wouldn't even have bedrooms or a place to play inside. We're fixing up an old farmhouse and the upstairs is being worked on first, and our kiddos have plenty of room to play in the living room area. She pointed out that we're not ready for more children pertaining to hers if God forbid something were to happen to them. She went on to say that she's the only one with a medical background in the family for horses, which is why people come to her when they need to know what things mean, and that I was gaslighting her and the family. When she brought my son into the conversation, that's when I lost it. I screamed a scream I had never screamed before. I've heard that one. Oh, Christian just throwed it up his motorbike. I was so hurt by the things that were said in these texts. This is when my husband said that we were cutting off ties with her. We haven't spoken to her since those last texts in December 2023. Are we the a-holes? Comments. Comment 1, not the a-hole. I feel like your sister-in-law was maybe projecting her feelings onto you because you're a stay-at-home mom. I'd love to see those texts for sure. And that is the end of that story, and I agree, not the a-hole. Riley disagrees. Riley thinks you're the a-hole ruining Christmas.
I'm not saying you're the a-hole, but the vibes at the family function will be weird.
He's not saying it, but he's thinking it. No, I'm sorry. I'm just messing around. I'm just messing around, folks.
It's okay.
I'm just messing around.
I'm just messing around. Me.
I'm just messing around.
Dakota's coming after me. I'm sorry.
It's all right, dude. You are right. When things are off, it does feel funny.
Yeah.
But it's like, where do we put the blame? Put the blame on the people who are like, I refuse to go to someone's house who disrespects me constantly. Or are we putting it on the people who are like disrespecting constantly? And I don't mean that in like I'm not trying to be like you were wrong. I mean like it like literally like where does it go? Like is that like a suck it up and just deal with it for one evening type thing? Or like where does it go? You're making me, you were scaring me. Well, that's the end of that episode. All right, we got some donos. He's still looking at me. Okay, here's the joke. Little burb. In America, using the metric system, you can get in legal trouble. What does that mean? Where's the joke there? What is this joke? In America, using the metric system can get you in legal trouble?
It's an anti-joke. I put it in there.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
That's good. We found an anti-joke. What's the legal trouble it can get you in?
I don't know. I just made it up.
Hannah donated $25.
Yay.
We all know what to put there. Woo. Awkward Turtle donated $50. You guys make me so happy. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we've got Purple Trader. Thank you for the $2. Troll stream, huh?
Yep, that's me.
That's what it turned into, I think.
Guys,
we ended up at Troll stream.
That's the end of that episode.
But that is the end of that story, end of that episode.
I am so tired. Gosh.
What do you say, Riley?
I love you guys.
So, if you love us, make sure you subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.